Welcome back to another edition of Griz Tracks. I'm AJ Mazzolini of the Missoulian newspaper.
And I'm Bill Speltz. I'm a sports writer and beat writer for the Griz football team.
We're 2 weeks into the regular season for Grizzly football, and so far the Griz are looking very good. They're just coming off of a beatdown at North Dakota, a 55-17 victory over there in Fargo. And Bill was out at the game, and how did the Griz look up close and personal in that one?
Well, AJ, when the game first started and North Dakota was able to move the ball down the field and throw for a touchdown, you thought, boy, this could be high scoring. And after that, their next series, they had the interception. Nate Harris had the interception for the Grizzlies, and it just all turned. And one thing you notice about that game defensively is that all night their quarterbacks were under pressure, and they could feel it from the defensive front for Montana. And it just threw everything off, and it went from there. Their linebackers played very well, and their secondary played excellent compared to last year.
Yeah, it turned out to be a high-scoring game, but only on one side of the field, with the Griz racking up a lot of points for the second consecutive game, after they also beat Appalachian State in their season opener a little bit early on. And the real story of this thing was how the Griz were just able to offensively do really whatever they pleased. The execution out there, pretty unheard of, really, for them.
And it was funny, after the game, the North Dakota coach, Chris Mussman, said, well, they didn't come here to run the ball. They came to pass and build a lead. I think he was expecting them to run the football more because Coach Delaney, Montana's coach, had said how they want to establish the run. But the truth of the matter is Montana can do it both ways, and that's what makes him so dangerous. You have to honor the run, and so it opens things up for the passing game. And Jordan Johnson, a lot of those guys were wide open on Saturday.
Yeah, and Jordan Johnson had himself a game. He was setting records all over the field. Passing efficiency was a new Big Sky record at over 300. It was
322 and change there, and they actually set a school record that we learned this week. Most yards per play offensively, almost 11 yards per play. Interestingly enough, the last time they set the record, it was against North Dakota. It was decades ago.
Yeah, and that's a first down every time they line up for a play, which is, again, just crazy numbers there. So the Griz are probably going to score a lot of points again this week. They're matched up with an opponent from Division II down there against Oklahoma Panhandle State this week, back at home in Washington Grizzly Stadium.
A Division II school, and going into it, you almost feel for Panhandle State coming this far on the bus. I've ridden the bus before, taking the trip back to Iowa, and it's no picnic, especially trying to sleep on the bus. And these are big guys. So anyway, they'll roll into town a little bit tired. They won't be used to the elevation, my guess is, and it'll be tough for them. It'll be a chance to see a lot of reserves for the Grizzlies, I predict, on Saturday.
Yeah, probably nobody's going to be taking Oklahoma Panhandle in that game as far as predictions go. So what kind of things do you expect the Griz to kind of be working on in that game, a game against the guys from the lower division?
Well, one thing I think we're going to see is that the backup quarterbacks get a lot of playing time. They haven't had much playing time at all this season, and even in fall camp, getting ready for this season, they wanted Jordan Johnson to be sharp. So obviously he was getting a lot of the reps. So I look for Shea Smithwick-Hahn and Trent McKinney to get their reps. Running back wise, I could see them. I'm not quite sure who is their fourth string running back now. I could see Mick Delaney not wanting to get a whole lot of carries for Trayvon Van and Jordan Canada, and even Joey Counts, who was third on the list. Rest those guys, it certainly makes a lot of sense because their schedule gets very tough once conference starts next Saturday at Northern Arizona.
Yeah, it'll be a game for guys to get rest up for the real meat of this season schedule here coming up. And again, that game is on Saturday here in Missoula. So make sure you get your hands on a Missoulian this weekend to check out all the game coverage from the big one here in Washington Grizzly Stadium. And stay tuned to Missoulian.com for our weekly Griz Tracks video updates. Thanks.